First contact and cultural exchange. The massive arc ship Celestial Voyager drifted silently through the inky vastness of space, its gleaming hull reflecting the distant starlight. Inside, Dr. Elena Rees stood before the floor-to-ceiling windows of the observation deck, her dark eyes scanning the unfamiliar constellations. After 5 years of interstellar travel, they had finally arrived at their destination, Proxima Centauri b, humanity's first extrasolar colony. Quite a view, isn't it? A deep voice rumbled behind her. Elena turned to see Captain Marcus Chen, his weathered face creased with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. "It's breathtaking," she agreed. "I still can't believe we're actually here." Marcus nodded, his gaze fixed on the alien world slowly rotating below them. "Neither can I. 5 years of planning, 5 years of travel, and now we're about to make history." As the chief xenobiologist of the expedition, Elena felt a thrill of anticipation coursing through her veins. They had detected signs of microbial life on Proxima Centauri b, but what they might find on the surface was still a mystery. "Dr. Rees to the bridge," the ship's AI announced suddenly, its voice echoing through the observation deck. "Unidentified object approaching." Elena and Marcus exchanged worried glances before rushing to the bridge. As they burst through the doors, they were greeted by a flurry of activity. The bridge crew worked frantically at their stations, their faces illuminated by the glow of holographic displays. "Report," Marcus barked, sliding into the captain's chair. Lieutenant Yuki Tanaka, the ship's census officer, spoke without taking her eyes off her console. "Sir, we've detected an object approaching at high speed. It doesn't match any known profile in our database." Elena leaned over Yuki's shoulder, her eyes widening as she studied the readout. "It's changing course," she murmured. "It's heading straight for us." The tension on the bridge was palpable as the crew watched the object's approach. It decelerated rapidly, coming to a stop just a few kilometers from the Celestial Voyager. "My God," Marcus whispered, "it's a ship." The alien vessel was unlike anything they had ever seen. Its sleek, organic shape seemed to shimmer and shift, defying their eyes' attempt to focus on any one part of it. Tendrils of light danced across its surface, pulsing in complex patterns. "They're hailing us," Communications Officer Raj Patel announced, his voice tight with excitement. Marcus took a deep breath, straightening his uniform. "Put them through." The main view screen flickered to life, and Elena felt her breath catch in her throat. The being before them was undeniably alien, yet hauntingly beautiful. Its body seemed to be composed of swirling, iridescent mist, constantly shifting and reforming. Multiple appendages writhed gracefully around a central core that pulsed with inner light. Where a face might have been, there was a cluster of glowing orbs that Elena instinctively knew were eyes. "Greetings, travelers," a melodious voice echoed in their minds, bypassing their ears entirely. "We are the Sixtons. We welcome you to our star system." Marcus stepped forward, his voice steady despite the enormity of the moment. "I am Captain Marcus Chen of the Earth ship Celestial Voyager. We come in peace, seeking to establish a colony on the 4th planet of this system." The Zixion's form shimmered, its colors shifting to a warm golden hue. "We have long awaited the arrival of other sentient life. Your presence brings us great joy. We would be honored to assist you in your endeavor." Over the next few weeks, a flurry of cultural and scientific exchanges took place between the humans and the Zixians. Elena found herself working closely with a Zixian scientist named Zix 427, whose insatiable curiosity about human biology matched her own fascination with Zixian physiology. "Your species reproduces sexually," Zix 427 asked one day as they worked side by side in the Celestial Voyager's lab. "How fascinating. We Zixians reproduce through a process of energy division." Elena nodded, trying to hide her amusement at the alien's enthusiasm. "Yes, human reproduction involves the fusion of genetic material from 2 individuals." Zix 427's form rippled with excitement. And this process, it involves physical contact between the two individuals. Usually, yes, Elena replied, feeling a slight blush creep into her cheeks. She hadn't expected to be giving an alien the talk. The Zixen's colors shifted to a deep blue, which Elena had come to recognize as an indication of deep thought. This concept of physical intimacy is alien to us, yet intriguing. The exchange of energy, the merging of bodies, it sounds almost magical. Elena laughed softly. I suppose it can be in its own way, but it's also a natural biological process driven by complex chemical and hormonal reactions. Zix 427's form pulsed rapidly, a sign of growing excitement. Dr. Reeves, would it be possible for me to observe this process? For scientific purposes, of course. I believe a deeper understanding of human reproduction could greatly benefit our cultural exchange. Elena nearly dropped the petri dish she was holding. That's not typically something we allow others to observe, she stammered. It's considered a private act between consenting adults. The Zixen's colors dimmed slightly in disappointment. I understand. Privacy is a concept we are still grappling with. Among my people, all experiences are shared freely. As Elena struggled to find a diplomatic response, an alarm blared through the ship. All senior staff to the bridge immediately. Marcus's voice echoed over the intercom. Elena and Zix 427 rushed to the bridge, where they found the rest of the senior staff already assembled. Marcus's face was grim as he addressed them. We've just received a distress call from the colony site, he announced. A massive storm has hit, and they're reporting severe damage to their equipment and shelters. We need to mount a rescue operation immediately. Elena felt a chill run down her spine. The colony site was on the far side of the planet, a treacherous journey even in good weather. What about the Zixians? She asked. Can they help? Marcus nodded. I've already contacted their leadership. They're sending a team to assist us. As the celestial Voyager broke orbit and raced towards the colony site, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that this crisis would test the newfound alliance between humans and Zixians in ways they couldn't have imagined. And as she glanced at Zix 427, whose form now pulsed with a determination that matched her own, she realized that their two species might have more in common than she had initially thought. The storm raged on as the celestial Voyager descended through the turbulent atmosphere of Proxima Centauri b. Elena gripped her seat tightly, her knuckles white as the ship bucked and shuddered in the violent winds. Approaching the colony site, Yuki announced, her voice tight with concentration. Visibility is near zero. I'm switching to infrared and gravimetric sensors. Through the view screen, Elena could see nothing but swirling clouds of dust and debris. Occasionally, a flash of lightning would illuminate the chaos, revealing glimpses of the devastated landscape below. I'm detecting multiple life signs, Raj reported. They're scattered across a wide area. Many are weak. Marcus's jaw clenched. Prepare the shuttle bay for emergency evacuation. Dr. Reeves, you'll lead the medical team on the ground. Lieutenant Tanaka, you're with her. As Elena and Yuki rushed to prepare for the rescue mission, Zix 427 approached them, its form rippling with concern. I wish to accompany you, the Zixian announced. My people's ability to manipulate energy fields may be of assistance. Elena nodded gratefully. Thank you, Zix. We'll need all the help we can get. The shuttle bay doors opened, revealing the hellish landscape below. Elena took a deep breath, steeling herself for what was to come. As they descended into the maelstrom, she couldn't help but wonder how this crisis would shape the future of human-Zixian relations, and whether the curious alien's earlier request would be forgotten in the face of more pressing concerns. The alien's curiosity grows. As the rescue mission on Proxima Centauri intensified, the unlikely trio of Dr. Elena Reeves, Lieutenant Yuki Tanaka, and the Zixian scientist Zix 427 found themselves facing challenges that would push the boundaries of both human and alien capabilities. The storm howled around them as they trudged through the debris-strewn landscape. Elena's medkit bounced against her hip, a constant reminder of that urgent mission. Yuki led the way, her handheld scanner cutting through the dust-filled air like a beacon. Life signs detected ahead. Yuki shouted over the wind. Multiple humans, vital signs weak but stable. As they approached a collapsed structure, Zix 427's form began to pulse with an intense, otherworldly light. The Zixian extended its misty tendrils, enveloping the twisted metal and concrete. "Stand back," Zix 427 communicated telepathically. "I will attempt to manipulate the energy fields to clear a path." Elena and Yuki watched in awe as the debris began to shift and levitate, forming a tunnel through the wreckage. Inside, they found a group of colonists huddled together, their faces etched with fear and relief. As Elena tended to the injured, Zix 427 hovered nearby, its curiosity evident in the rapid color changes rippling across its form. "Dr. Rees," the alien's thoughts echoed in her mind. "I am fascinated by the human body's response to stress and injury. The chemical reactions, the physical changes, it's all so tangible." Elena nodded, applying a dermal regenerator to a colonist's laceration. "Our bodies are complex machines, Zix. Millions of years of evolution have fine-tuned our responses to environmental threats." The Zixian's form shimmered with excitement. "And yet, despite this refinement, you still choose to undertake dangerous missions like this one. Why?" Yuki, overhearing the conversation, chimed in. "It's part of who we are, Zix. Humans have an innate drive to explore, to push our limits, to help others, even at great personal risk." Zix 427's colors shifted to a deep contemplative blue. "This concept of self-sacrifice for the greater good, it resonates with me in ways I cannot fully express." As they continued their rescue efforts, moving from one group of survivors to another, Zix 427's questions became increasingly probing, particularly regarding human physiology and relationships. "Dr. Rees," the alien communicated during a brief respite, "I've been analyzing the data from our cultural exchange sessions. There's an aspect of human interaction that I find particularly intriguing, the concept of love. Can you explain its biological basis?" Elena felt a blush creep into her cheeks, acutely aware of Yuki's amused glance. "Well, Zix, love is a complex emotion with both biological and psychological components. It involves a cocktail of neurotransmitters and hormones, including dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin." Zix 427's form pulsed rapidly. "Fascinating. And this chemical reaction, it drives humans to form pair bonds and reproduce." "That's a simplified way of looking at it," Elena replied, searching for the right words. "Love can take many forms: romantic, familial, platonic. It's not always tied to reproduction." The Zixian's colors swirled in patterns Elena had never seen before. "I find myself increasingly drawn to these human concepts of physical and emotional connection. The idea of two beings joining together, sharing experiences, creating new life. It's so different from our energy division process." Before Elena could respond, a massive tremor shook the ground beneath their feet. In the distance, a colossal fissure began to open up, threatening to swallow a large section of the colony. "Earthquake," Yuki shouted, her scanner beeping urgently. "We've got more colonists trapped on the other side of that chasm." Without hesitation, Zix 427 stretched its form, creating a shimmering bridge of energy across the widening gap. Quickly, the alien urged, "I can maintain this structure for a short time, but the strain is considerable." Elena and Yuki exchanged a glance, marveling at that alien companion's selflessness. As they raced across the energy bridge, Elena couldn't help but wonder how this shared ordeal would shape Zix 427's understanding of humanity, and how it might influence the Zixian's growing fascination with human relationships. On the other side, they found a group of colonists trapped in an unstable building. As they worked to free the survivors, Zix 427 continued its barrage of questions, seemingly even more intrigued by human behavior under extreme stress. The way you comfort each other, the physical contact, it seems to have a calming effect, the alien observed as Elena embraced a sobbing colonist. Is this another aspect of your emotional connections? Elena nodded, helping the colonist to her feet. Touch is a powerful form of communication for humans. It can convey empathy, support, and care in ways words often can't. Zix 427's form rippled with intensity. I wish I could experience this kind of connection. To feel as you feel, to touch as you touch. The depth of these interactions is truly remarkable. As they made their way back to the rescue shuttle, the storm finally beginning to subside, Elena found herself pondering the Zixian's words. The alien's curiosity about human relationships and physiology had grown far beyond mere scientific interest. There was a longing in Zix 427's questions, a desire to understand, and perhaps even experience, the intricacies of human connection. Back on the celestial Voyager, as the rescue teams regrouped and tended to the injured colonists, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that Zix 427's fascination with humanity was leading them all into uncharted territory. The lines between scientific inquiry and personal desire were blurring, and she wondered how far the Zixian's curiosity might take them. As she headed to her quarters for some much-needed rest, Elena found herself both excited and apprehensive about the possibilities that lay ahead. The rescue mission had brought humans and Zixians closer together, but it had also opened up a Pandora's box of questions about the nature of interspecies relationships. Little did she know that Zix 427's next request would challenge not only her scientific principles, but also her understanding of love, consent, and the very boundaries of what it means to be human. A daring proposal and ethical dilemmas. The aftermath of the rescue mission on Proxima Centauri left the crew of the celestial Voyager exhausted but triumphant. As the ship orbited the alien world, Dr. Elena Rees found herself in the hydroponics bay, seeking solace among the lush vegetation that reminded her of Earth. Dr. Rees, your presence is requested in the Xenobiology lab, the ship's AI announced, startling Elena from her reverie. As she made her way to the lab, Elena's mind raced with possibilities. The past few weeks had been a whirlwind of scientific discoveries and cultural exchanges with the Zixians, but nothing could have prepared her for what awaited her behind those sliding doors. Zix 427 hovered in the center of the lab, its form shimmering with an intensity Elena had never seen before. Captain Marcus Chen stood nearby, his expression a mixture of concern and fascination. Dr. Rees, Zix 427's telepathic voice resonated with an undercurrent of excitement. I have made a decision that I believe will revolutionize our understanding of interspecies relations. Elena raised an eyebrow, intrigued. What kind of decision, Zix? The alien's form pulsed rapidly, colors swirling in complex patterns. I wish to undergo a procedure to transform myself into a human-compatible form, capable of experiencing physical sensations and emotions as you do. Elena's jaw dropped. She looked at Marcus, who shrugged helplessly. Zix, I'm not even sure that's possible, she stammered. I have analyzed human physiology extensively, Zix 427 continued, undeterred. With your advanced biotechnology and my species' ability to manipulate energy and matter, I believe we can achieve this transformation. Marcus cleared his throat. Zix has already presented a preliminary proposal to the Zixian Council. They've given their approval, pending our agreement and ethical considerations. Elena's mind reeled. The scientific implications were staggering, but the ethical ramifications were equally profound. Zix, why do you want to do this? The risks. To truly understand humanity, the alien interrupted, its form rippling with intensity. To experience love, touch, the full spectrum of human emotions, and to potentially participate in the human reproductive process. The lab fell silent. Elena felt a blush creep into her cheeks as she recalled Zix 427's earlier curiosity about human mating habits. 6. Reproduction isn't just a physical act. There are emotional and social aspects that, I am aware, Zix 427 interjected. That is precisely why I wish to undergo this transformation. To fully comprehend these complex interactions, I must experience them firsthand. Marcus rubbed his temples, clearly overwhelmed. Dr. Rees, I need your professional opinion. Is this even remotely feasible? Elena took a deep breath, her scientific mind already racing with possibilities. Theoretically, yes. We could use a combination of genetic engineering, nanotechnology, and the Zixian's energy manipulation abilities. But the ethical implications are enormous. We'd be fundamentally altering a sentient being's entire existence. I have considered the implications thoroughly, Zix 427 assured them. This is not a decision I have made lightly. I believe this transformation will not only benefit me, but will also provide invaluable insights for both our species. As the discussion continued late into the night, news of Zix 427's proposal spread through the ship like wildfire. Crew members debated the ethical, scientific, and philosophical ramifications of such an unprecedented procedure. In her quarters, Elena pored over Zix 427's proposal, her mind a whirlwind of conflicting thoughts. The scientist in her was thrilled by the challenge, the potential for groundbreaking discoveries. But the human in her worried about the consequences of such a drastic transformation. A chime at her door interrupted her musings. It was Lieutenant Yuki Tanaka, her face etched with concern. Elena, have you heard? The crew is divided. Some think this could be the key to deeper interspecies understanding. Others fear it could lead to unforeseen complications in human-Zixian relations. Elena nodded, running a hand through her hair. I know. It's not a decision to be made lightly. The implications for consent, identity, and the very nature of consciousness are staggering. Yuki sat down, her voice low. There's more. Some crew members are worried about the possibility of intimate relations between Zix 427 and humans after the transformation. They're calling it xenophilia and debating whether it's ethically acceptable. Elena felt a headache forming. The term xenophilia sent her mind spinning with visions of potential futures, some wondrous, others disturbing. This goes beyond anything we've encountered in our ethical training. We're in uncharted territory here. As the debate raged on, Elena found herself at the center of a storm of conflicting interests. The scientific community on Earth, upon hearing of the proposal, was clamoring for the chance to study this unprecedented transformation. The Zixian Council saw it as an opportunity to deepen their understanding of humanity. And caught in the middle was Zix 427, driven by an insatiable curiosity and a desire to experience the full spectrum of human existence. Late one night, as Elena sat in the observation deck, staring out at the alien world below, she felt a familiar presence beside her. Zix 427's form shimmered softly in the starlight. Dr. Rees, the alien's thoughts whispered in her mind, I sense your conflict. Please understand, this is not merely about scientific curiosity or physical sensation. I seek to bridge the gap between our species in a way that has never been attempted before. Elena turned to face the alien, her expression softening. Zix, I understand your desire to experience humanity fully, but have you considered that by transforming yourself, you might lose something essential about your own nature? Your unique perspective as a Zixian is invaluable to us. Zix 427's colors shifted to a deep contemplative blue. I have considered this, Dr. Reeves, but I believe that by undergoing this transformation, I will not be losing my Zixian nature, but rather expanding it. I will become a bridge between our species, capable of understanding both in ways no one else can. As they sat in companionable silence, watching the stars wheel overhead, Elena felt a shift in her perspective. She realized that Zix 427's proposal, as radical as it was, represented the very essence of human exploration and scientific endeavor. It was a leap into the unknown, driven by curiosity, courage, and the desire to understand. With a deep breath, Elena made her decision. "All right, Zix. If you're absolutely certain about this, I'll support your decision. But we'll need to establish strict ethical guidelines and safety protocols. And you must understand that even after the transformation, intimate relationships with humans will be a complex issue requiring careful consideration and consent from all parties involved." Zix 427's form brightened, pulsing with joy and gratitude. "Thank you, Dr. Reeves. I promise to approach this new existence with the utmost respect for human customs and ethics. Together, we will open new frontiers of understanding between our species." As they began to plan the unprecedented procedure, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that they were standing on the brink of a new era in interspecies relations. The transformation of Zix 427 would challenge their notions of identity, consciousness, and the very nature of what it means to be human or alien. Little did they know that this daring experiment would soon catapult them into a series of events that would not only change their lives, but potentially reshape the future of human-Zixian relations forever. Unexpected consequences and revelations. The day of Zix 427's transformation dawned with an air of tense excitement aboard the celestial Voyager. The ship's medical bay had been converted into a high-tech laboratory, bristling with a mix of human and Zixian technology. Dr. Elena Rees stood at the center, triple-checking every detail of the unprecedented procedure. Initiating quantum reconfiguration sequence, Elena announced, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. "Zix, are you ready?" The Zixian's form pulsed with anticipation. "I am prepared, Dr. Reeves. Let us make history." As the procedure began, a brilliant light engulfed Zix 427's misty form. The ship's systems strained under the enormous energy output, causing lights to flicker throughout the vessel. Crew members gathered outside the medical bay, watching in awe as flashes of otherworldly colors danced behind the frosted glass. Hours passed, feeling like an eternity to the anxious onlookers. Finally, the light faded, and Elena's voice crackled over the intercom. "Transformation complete. Vital signs are stable." The medical bay doors slid open, revealing a sight that left everyone speechless. Where once hovered a being of mist and light, now stood a humanoid figure. Zix 427's new form was tall and androgynous, with skin that shimmered like opal and eyes that swirled with galaxies. "How do you feel, Zix?" Elena asked, approaching cautiously. Zix 427 lifted a hand, marveling at the play of light on newfound fingers. "I feel everything," the transformed alien whispered, voice melodious yet unmistakably alien. "The air on my skin, the beating of my heart, it's overwhelming." As news of the successful transformation spread, the celestial Voyager became a hub of frenzied activity. Scientists clamored to study Zix 427's new physiology, while diplomats from Earth and the Zixian homeworld debated the implications for interspecies relations. But amidst the chaos, Elena noticed something concerning. Zix 427 seemed to be struggling with the intensity of human emotions and sensations. One moment, the transformed alien would be laughing with joy, the next, curled up in a corner, overwhelmed by sensory input. "We need to implement a gradual adaptation program," Elena announced to Captain Chen. "Zix's new neural pathways are hypersensitive. Too much stimulation could lead to a psychological breakdown." As they worked to help Zix 427 adjust, strange phenomena began to occur around the ship. Equipment malfunctioned in inexplicable ways, and crew members reported odd dreams and fleeting visions. Lieutenant Yuki Tanaka approached Elena one evening, her face etched with worry. "Dr. Reeves, I think something's happening to the ship. The quantum entanglement drive is showing fluctuations I can't explain. It's almost as if the boundaries between dimensions are becoming blurred." Elena's blood ran cold as a terrible suspicion formed in her mind. She rushed to Zix 427's quarters, finding the transformed alien in a state of distress. "Zix, I need you to be honest with me," Elena said urgently. "Is your transformation affecting the fabric of space-time around us?" Zix 427 looked up, eyes swirling with cosmic depths. I'm not sure. Everything is so intense, so interconnected. I can feel the quantum strings of the universe, taste the dark energy between stars. I don't know where I end and the cosmos begins. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Elena called an emergency meeting with the senior staff. "I believe Zix 427's transformation has had unintended consequences," she explained. "The merging of Zixian energy manipulation abilities with a human-like nervous system has created a being that's hypersensitive to the fundamental forces of the universe. If we don't find a way to stabilize Zix's condition, we could be looking at a cascade of space-time anomalies." Captain Chen's face paled. "Are you saying Zix could accidentally tear a hole in the fabric of reality?" "That's not outside the realm of possibility," Elena admitted. As if on cue, alarms blared throughout the ship. "Multiple spatial anomalies detected," Yuki shouted from her station. "Subspace rifts are opening all around us." Through the viewscreen, they watched in horror as the space around Proxima Centauri began to warp and twist. Holes in reality opened, offering glimpses of other worlds, other dimensions. "We need to reverse the transformation," Elena declared. "It's the only way to close these rifts before they destabilize the entire star system." But when they reached Zix 427's quarters, they found the room empty. A trail of shimmering energy led to the shuttle bay. "Zix has taken a shuttle," the ship's air reported. "It's heading towards the largest anomaly." Elena's mind raced. She realized that Zix 427, overwhelmed by the vastness of cosmic awareness, was being drawn towards the rifts like a moth to flame. The transformed alien sought to merge with the universe itself, heedless of the destruction this would cause. "Prepare my shuttle," Elena commanded. "I'm going after Zix." As Elena piloted her shuttle into the swirling chaos of the largest anomaly, she knew she was flying into the unknown. The fate of not just two species, but potentially the entire universe, hung in the balance. Through the maelstrom of warped space-time, Elena caught sight of Zix 427's shuttle. The transformed alien had exited the vehicle and was floating in space, arms outstretched, basking in the cosmic energies swirling around them. "Zix," Elena called over the comm. "You have to stop this. You're tearing the universe apart." Zix 427 turned, eyes filled with the fire of creation itself. "Can't you see, Elena? I understand everything now. The boundaries between species, between dimensions, they're all illusions. We can become one with the cosmos itself." Elena realized that appeals to reason wouldn't work. Zix 427's mind was overwhelmed by cosmic awareness. She needed to remind the transformed alien of its humanity, the very thing it had sought to understand. Donning her spacesuit, Elena exited her shuttle. She propelled herself towards Zix 427, fighting against the chaotic currents of fractured space-time. "Zix," she called out, reaching for the transformed alien's hand. "Remember why you wanted to become human. It wasn't just about understanding the universe. It was about connecting with us, experiencing love, touch, the beauty of individual existence." As their hands touched, a spark of energy passed between them. Suddenly, Elena found her consciousness expanded, touching the cosmic awareness that had overwhelmed Zix 427. For a moment, she too could sense the vast tapestry of reality, the infinite possibilities of existence. But unlike Zix 427, Elena's human mind instinctively recoiled from the vastness, clinging to her individual identity. And in that moment of shared awareness, she was able to guide Zix 427 back from the brink of cosmic dissolution. "You're right. Zix 427 whispered, eyes clearing. I almost lost myself in the infinite, but it's the finite, the personal connections that give life its meaning. As their minds touched, Elena and Zix 427 began to glow with an otherworldly light. The energy of their connection spread outward, closing the spatial rifts and stabilizing the fragmented space-time around them. When they returned to the celestial voyager, both Elena and Zix 427 were forever changed. The transformed alien had found a balance between cosmic awareness and human experience, while Elena had touched the face of infinity and returned with a deeper understanding of existence itself. As news of their incredible journeys spread, humans and Zixians alike were forced to reconsider their place in the universe. The boundaries between species, between the finite and the infinite, had been blurred in ways no one could have imagined. Zix 427, now a true bridge between humanity and the cosmos, became a teacher and guide for both species, and Elena, touched by the infinite yet anchored in her humanity, found herself at the forefront of a new era of cosmic exploration and understanding. The curious aliens' quest to experience humanity had led them all to the brink of universal destruction, only to open up new frontiers of existence that would reshape the future of all sentient life in the cosmos. Bridging two worlds. The events aboard the celestial voyager had sent shockwaves through both human and Zixian societies. As news of Zix 427's transformation and the subsequent cosmic incidents spread, the ship became the focal point of an interstellar media frenzy. Overnight, Dr. Elena Reeves and the transformed Zix 427 became galactic celebrities, their story capturing the imagination of trillions across multiple star systems. Xenomorphic influencers, the duo reshaping our understanding of the cosmos, blared the headlines on Earth's news feeds. Touched by infinity, how a human scientist and transformed alien are revolutionizing interspecies relations, proclaimed the Zixian equivalent. Elena found herself thrust into the spotlight, inundated with requests for interviews, lectures, and even movie rights. But amidst the chaos, she remained focused on the monumental task ahead, helping Zix 427 navigate its new dual nature and exploring the implications of their shared cosmic experience. In the newly christened Convergence Lab aboard the celestial voyager, Elena and Zix 427 worked tirelessly to unlock the secrets of their transformation. The lab had become a nexus of cutting-edge technology, a blend of human ingenuity and Zixian energy manipulation that pushed the boundaries of known science. Initiating quantum resonance scan, Elena announced, adjusting the controls of a device that looked like a cross between an MRI machine and a kaleidoscope. Ready, Zix. The transformed alien nodded, its opalescent skin shimmering with anticipation. Always ready, Elena. Let's dance with the quantum foam. As the scan began, holographic displays erupted around them, showcasing mind-bending visualizations of Zix 427's unique physiology. Strands of DNA intertwined with threads of pure energy, forming complex patterns that seemed to shift between dimensions. Fascinating, Elena murmured, her eyes wide with wonder. Your genetic structure is constantly fluctuating, adapting to the quantum fluctuations around us. It's like your body is a living bridge between normal space and the quantum realm. Zix 427 flexed its fingers, watching as tiny sparks of energy danced between them. I can feel it, Elena. The boundaries between matter and energy, between the physical and the cosmic, they're all fluid, interconnected in ways I'm only beginning to understand. Their research was yielding incredible results. They discovered that Zix 427 could manipulate the fundamental forces of the universe in ways that defied conventional physics. Gravity, electromagnetism, even the strong and weak nuclear forces, all bent to the transformed alien's will. But with these godlike powers came great responsibility and unforeseen challenges. Zix 427 struggled to maintain a connection to its individual identity, often slipping into states of cosmic awareness that threatened to overwhelm its newfound humanity. Elena found herself not just a scientist, but a guide and anchor for Zix 427's human experiences. She introduced the transformed alien to art, music, and literature, watching with joy as Zix 427 discovered the beauty of human creativity. One evening, as they sat in the ship's arboretum surrounded by plants from a dozen worlds, Zix 427 turned to Elena with eyes that swirled like nebulae. "Elena, I think I'm beginning to understand what you meant about love. These feelings, these connections, they're more powerful than any cosmic force I've encountered." Elena felt her heart skip a beat, realizing that her own feelings for Zix 427 had grown far beyond mere scientific curiosity or friendship. The bond they shared, forged in the fires of cosmic awareness, was unlike anything she had ever experienced. But their burgeoning relationship raised complex ethical questions. How could they navigate the uncharted waters of human Zixian intimacy? What were the implications for both their species? As they grappled with these personal dilemmas, a new crisis loomed on the horizon. The celestial voyager picked up a distress signal from a distant star system, one that defied all known laws of physics. "It's like nothing we've ever seen," Captain Chen explained during an emergency briefing. "The entire star system is phase-shifting between dimensions. If we don't find a way to stabilize it, millions of lives will be lost." All eyes turned to Elena and Zix 427. Their unique bond and Zix 427's abilities represented the best hope for averting catastrophe. "We'll need to attempt a large-scale quantum stabilization," Elena proposed, her mind already racing with calculations. "But the energy required, it's beyond anything we can generate with our current technology." Zix 427 stood, its form seeming to pulse with cosmic energy. "I can be the conduit. My body, my very being, is a bridge between realities. If we can harness that, channel it through the ship's systems." Elena's eyes widened as she grasped the implications. It could work, but the risks? Zix, it could tear you apart at the subatomic level. The transformed alien's gaze met Elena's, a universe of unspoken emotions passing between them. "Some risks are worth taking, Elena. For the sake of countless lives, for the future of both our species, for love." As the celestial voyager raced towards the phase-shifting star system, Elena and Zix 427 prepared for the most daring feat of cosmic engineering ever attempted. The entire ship was converted into a massive quantum stabilization array, with Zix 427 at its heart. In the final moments before the procedure began, Elena and Zix 427 stood alone in the Convergence lab. Words seemed inadequate in the face of what they were about to attempt. "Elena," Zix 427 said softly, reaching out to caress her cheek with fingers that shimmered with stardust. "Whatever happens, know that you have given me the greatest gift imaginable. You've shown me what it truly means to be human." Elena leaned into the touch, tears glistening in her eyes. "And you've shown me the wonders of the cosmos, Zix. Together, we've redefined what's possible." As their lips met in a kiss that seemed to bridge galaxies, both knew that they stood on the precipice of a new era. Whatever the outcome of their desperate gambit, the bond between human and Zixian, between the finite and the infinite, had been forever transformed. The fate of a star system, the future of interspecies relations, and the very nature of reality itself now rested in their hands. As the celestial voyager plunged into the heart of the cosmic maelstrom, Elena and Zix 427 prepared to rewrite the laws of the universe, all in the name of love, science, and the boundless spirit of exploration that united their two species.